Hello and welcome to the ArchieLuxury program. Today's program is a special treat. ArchieLuxury has been asked to participate in an exhibition on people who excel in collecting luxury goods. And this is actually a project with Emily. And I did actually do a video a short while ago, and I did tell Emily about my collection, and this here is actually a follow-up to it, and Emily's asked some questions which I'd like to share with my viewers. So this is an interview. It's an art exhibition on ArchieLuxury and other collectors, and it's going to be an exhibition in London. So Archie's really keen to help any aspiring, anyone who wants to run a show and they want to feature Archie. He's all keen. I mean, it can only do something for the ratings. So let's go through the questions. Okay, the first question is, what was your first luxury purchase? And that's a very good one. I think my first really true luxury purchase was when I was 18. I bought myself a Rolex watch. That was a Rolex Explorer 1 model 1016. And I think that's my first true luxury purchase. The next question is, why did you purchase such item? Well, I purchased that because I wanted a Rolex. I was in the computer industry. I had my own business. I was a young fella who had his own business, and I said to a jeweler who was a client of mine, I said, hey, get me the cheapest Rolex you can. I want a Rolex because I like the brand. I want some luxury on my wrist. And so that was it. The next question, how old were you when you bought this item? Yep, as I've said there, I just turned 18, and I remember because I just got my American Express green card, and that's how Archie paid for his first Rolex. It was on the American Express green card. The next question is, do you consider yourself a luxury obsessive? Do I consider myself a luxury obsessive? No, I don't, but let me ask you this question. Can you live without luxury? Can you live without luxury goods? And the answer is no. I don't think life without luxury is worth living. If you don't have a fuck-off wristwatch on your wrist, like a Patek Philippe, a Jaeger-LeCoultre, or even a Rolex, if you don't have a $5,000 briefcase, I mean, fuck, is life worth really living? These are the questions you need to ask, and I don't think I'm obsessive. I think luxury is a part of everyone's life. They need luxury, and I love luxury. Luxury's a great thing. I don't think I'm obsessive about it. You just need it. Simple as that. If you don't, it's fucked. Okay, next question. Are you obsessed with luxury goods? Well, I don't think I'm really obsessed with luxury goods. I want the best things in the world. The most beautiful, the most gorgeous. And, for example, I want a wristwatch which is a fuck-off wristwatch. I want a wristwatch which, famous celebrities and famous people have worn. I want the best of the best. And in my case, Patek Philippe fills that void. I mean, Patek Philippe, it tells warlock time, just like Charlie Sheen has said. Patek Philippe is a great brand. I mean, it's got attributes which I absolutely adore. It's a handcrafted wristwatch. It's not showy. It's not over the top. It's discreet. It's stealth wealth. It is for people in the know, and it's just one of these things. You're having a hard day, your boss is giving you the shits, you can just look down at your $30,000 Patek Philippe and just say, fuck you, you are so, that's what it is. It's just one of these things that it's not meant to show off, because it really, unless you're in the know and know what a fucking Patek Philippe is, unless you realize a Patek Philippe is the price of a middle-class car, it doesn't really mean anything. And this is the whole attraction to these super luxury items, is that they are so stealthy. This is what happens. It's only the people in the know. And that's good because the servants don't steal them. People, don't try and mug you because they don't realize what the fuck it is. And that's the beauty with premium luxury goods. And I think myself, am I obsessed with luxury? Look, I wouldn't say I was obsessed. I think everyone needs luxury. Look, you have a look at the Beatles. John Lennon, what did he wear? Patek Philippe 2499. You look at Ringo Starr, you look at Paul McCartney, they all Patek fans. You know, you look at most military dictators and rulers around the world, huge Patek Philippe fans, huge Rolex fans, huge luxury fans. So why can't I have the best in the world? And, you know, this is the whole thing. You know, when you have a $10,000 suitcase, it just says to people, fuck off. And this is the whole point. I mean, it's just very discreet. It's very, very stealthy. And, you know, I don't need to explain nothing to anyone. I am who I am. I'm ArchieLuxury. And, okay, next question. If so, why do you think it is? Well, as I've said there, I don't think I'm obsessed. I think luxury is just a way of life. But let's have a look at that. Well, I just think, you know, I want the best in the world. I mean, what did the Pope wear? What did military dictators and presidents and corrupt, you know, Soviet presidents? Putin wears a Patek, you know. You look at what these leaders and what do most military dictators wear? It's a Rolex, it's a Patek, it's a top line thing. Why can't I have that level of luxury? What do you love about luxury? Well, I honestly think luxury to me it's the best in the world. I want things that whoever's walked the planet, the absolute best they could have is the same type of things that I have. For example, my Patek Philippe, it's a 5107, white gold. It doesn't matter if you're a president of a country, a military dictator, or whether you're a CEO of a big company. You could wear that watch anywhere. And that's the same for Archie. I can wear that watch, and it doesn't matter whether I'm driving a taxi or whether I'm doing IT work. I wear my Patek, and I like to think that luxury, it's just a way of showing what you consider to be classic and stylish, and it just lets off very, very discreet keys about the person themselves there. And I mean, it's also like, you know, it's not just I have an expensive wristwatch. I like to have everything I touch. I want the ultimate in luxury, and I use a Cartier fountain pen. Now most people wouldn't have a clue what a Cartier fountain pen is. It's $1,000. It's a week's wages for average person. But it's got a solid gold nib. It writes fantastically, and that fucker will last me a lifetime. So, I mean, what's the cost per daily use on that pen? You know, a normal pen, what does it last? A month? Well, this pen's going to last me a lifetime. You know, my briefcase, I've got quite a few. And I like something that's beautifully made, feels gorgeous. It feels absolutely fantastic. And whether I'm leaving the country because I've embezzled, I've managed to embezzle $1 million, and I'm fucking off real quick. It's just a quality thing to have in your hands, and it's a beautifully made thing. I want the best thing in the world, and it doesn't matter if you're a celebrity, a movie star, or a military dictator. You couldn't buy better than these luxury goods that I have. And that's the whole thing. I want the best things in the world. What are your favourite brands and why? Well, I would have to say my favourite brands are the top luxury brands. In wristwatches, I'm a huge fan of Patek Philippe, Vacheron and Constantin, Audemars Piguet. I don't even mind Rolex, Cartier. And I'll even say some Omegas. Okay, that's the iconic brands there. That's what I really, really like. In luggage and briefcases and leather goods, I love Louis Vuitton. That's a really great brand. I'm also, must say, although I don't have much by Hermes, I really do love Hermes. And there's many good brands out there. Accessories, I love Cartier for accessories. I love Dunhill for accessories. I love, there's so many good brands out there, and I like, any brand that has a history of making that item. in fountain pens, Mont Blanc. But I wouldn't buy a Mont Blanc watch. I think that's a cop-out. I think they're just jumping on the bandwagon for trying to cash in on their name. But companies who are iconic in that particular product and that field, I really like. For luggage itself, Louis Vuitton. Nothing is nicer than a hard case Louis Vuitton piece of luggage. It's just quality. It's chic. It's just absolutely gorgeous. And that's what I really do love in brands. And what it is. What do I love in brands? I like the tradition. I like the history. It's all those elements. And just like Madonna will often travel with hard case Louis Vuitton, well, why can't I travel with hard case Louis Vuitton? And this is the whole thing. Elton John had Louis Vuitton suitcases. Well, I've got the same models that he's had. And, this is the whole thing. I want the absolute best in the world. And so the brands I look to, I want iconic leaders in their field. Next question. Do you ever travel to purchase your luxury goods? The answer to that is Archie himself. I'm a firm believer in buying things second-hand. I don't like to buy much new because retail is fucked. Retail is for suckers. And Archie likes to buy everything, every piece of luxury that I've bought. I like to think that I could always get my money back if necessary. And that's why I buy everything pre-owned. And I've invested a lot of knowledge, a lot of time in learning about what is a good what do you need in there's so many fakes and so many pieces which aren't perfect. I want to know what makes one good and one not so good, and that knowledge. I've spent a lot of time learning these things, and in that way there, I often will I like to buy pre-owned. Would I travel to purchase? I've purchased many things from auctions. And with the really top end luxury brands, Sotheby's, Christie's, they have auctions on Louis Vuitton, on Patek Philippe, on Rolex, on Cartier, and even, I must say this, down class, eBay itself, they have those same very items as well there. So it's an amazing thing. I will buy things from around the world, no problems at all. And that's certainly the case there. But normally speaking, there's always a sneaky way to ship things, so I don't have to pay duty and tax. And that's often what I'll often use there. Often when I'm shipping wristwatches and things like that, I'll say return from repair. That way there's no duty on the piece. I mean, governments are evil. They derive their power from Satan the devil, and they waste all the fucking money they get in taxes anyhow. So, what's the point? So that's my view. Okay, do you prefer to shop in the store or online? Okay, that's a very good question. I must say there, as I don't buy a lot of stuff new, I do still like to go into the stores to check out the thing, and also I must confess I like to suck in that new that sort of the vibe and the how I like to get the brochures from the stores. But I like to go to stores, find out, get all the goss, get the brochures, and I like to buy it on the used market and save myself a fortune. I'm not here to fucking befriend anyone. I'm here to fucking get the luxury goods I want at the lowest possible price for genuine luxury goods. That's the game. The game is not to fuck around paying retail. Retail sucks. But I like to get all the trappings, and I like to buy my goods on the secondary market. Online is fantastic. Auctions and no problems at all. I don't have a problem with that. I've often bought pieces. I have bought a few pieces from stores themselves there. Not a problem. But I'm a pre-owned shopper. I bought some pieces for my wife brand new from Louis Vuitton, and that's fine. But I must say this, I certainly, a lot of pieces I've bought, I buy them pre-owned. So I've got a relationship with a lot of dealers in second-hand luxury goods, and they'll tell me exactly what it is, high-res photos. I'd much rather, it doesn't matter to me whether it's in-store or online. Next question. Are you devoted to your luxury goods? Well, look, my insurance bill for my luxury goods just came in. It's $3,500 for insurance coverage, plus the cost of keeping a bank safety deposit box in the city. They can be quite expensive fuckers. However, my luxury goods, that doesn't mean that I'd always keep them forever. I often will purge collections. And at the moment, I'm going through a bit of a purge itself. I'm saying, which pieces do I really want? I want to reinvest my money into other pieces. So I'm having a bit of a sale off. So am I devoted to them? Yes, I love them. Yes, even pieces I've sold, I'll look back and say, yes, that was a beautiful piece. But in the same token, I'm not a slave to my luxury goods. Those fuckers need to make me happy. And if they don't, I'll get rid of them for something that gives me more luxury status and prestige. And, this is the thing. I love them, but the thing is, they've got to be making me happy. And, at the moment, I'm having a bit of a purge. And, but my top echelon pieces, I would never sell. Okay, next question. What do they mean to you? Well, luxury goods themselves, they mean the world to me. I mean, I love luxury goods. I mean, what's the point of living if you don't have luxury? What's the point of existing if you don't have a $30,000 wristwatch to your wrist? If you don't have a $10,000 briefcase? If you don't have a $12,000 suitcase? What's the fucking point? I mean, we're on this planet for a short time. We don't actually own anything. It's all a lease. If we're lucky, we'll get 80 years on the planet. Then we're dead. I mean, why not surround yourself with the best of the best? So they mean a lot to me. I love them. That's who I am. I'm ArchieLuxury. It's not Archie, no luxury goods. It's ArchieLuxury. Next question. Do you save up for items? Well, look, I'm a bit of a wheeler dealer. I buy and sell pieces. And, sometimes I will I'll buy a piece, sometimes on credit. Yes, that's right. I will sometimes use credit card. And then what I'll do, I don't want to owe money on credit card, so I'll flick some other pieces off to subsidize that purchase. I've done that many times, and that just depends what type of item it is there. I've often toyed with the idea of getting rid of some of my collection to buy something else. Yes, of course I do that there. I don't necessarily save up. I'm looking for bargains. I want bang per buck. And, your beggars can't be choosers, but the pieces that I want there, I know what I'm looking for. I keep an eye out on the auctions and on online listings, and if something comes up at a good price, I'll swoop and grab it. If something's at a bargain price, I will always fucking scoop and bag it. Okay, how do you decide what to buy? Well, again, as I said there, bang per buck is very important for our Archie. I want to make sure I get bang per buck. I believe you make money when you buy. A wheeler dealer always makes his money when he buys. When he actually sells it, he simply realizes the gain. So to me, the profit motive is I got to buy pieces which I've got profit in them. So depending on the pricing, it makes me depend on how keen I am for them. And how do I decide what to buy? Well, I like the classic things, and at the moment I should say this. I bought my Patek Philippe. I wanted a fuck-off wristwatch for a while. I thought about different brands. I was going to get either a solid gold Rolex. I was going to get either a Patek Philippe, or I was thinking about even some really expensive models like, say, a Rolex Daytona, like a vintage one. And then, you just have a look what's out there. And then, because I had a small inheritance that came for me. And then, when I was looking around, the Patek came up, and I thought, oh, I really want it. And that's what made me get my beautiful Patek 5107 Calatrava. It just felt right at the time. Okay, next question. Do magazines or Next question. Do magazines or celebrities ever influence your purchases? Look, I think I'm a bit beyond that. I'm ArchieLuxury. I am a celebrity. I mean, my ArchieLuxury channel itself there, is been going out on YouTube, and I've got millions of views. Do magazines or celebrities ever influence? Yes, they do. They tell me what not to buy. I really don't like celebrities, or I don't buy magazines for that. I read The Rake as a magazine. I mean, it's sort of a magazine for upmarket cads. I really... Celebrities doesn't mean a lot to me. It's more the history of the item. Yes, I like to read about celebrities who have certain items or zany antics, just like Charlie Sheen. I've often talking to lay people. Charlie Sheen. All of a sudden, you say to someone, "Well, that hooker that Charlie Sheen was with." The hooker stole his wristwatch. It was a Patek Philippe, and this wristwatch on my wrist is a Patek Philippe, and this is the same brand that he tore the room apart looking for, and people can understand it. So yeah, I don't mind celebrities having these goods, but I'm not influenced by celebrities or magazines. I mean, Archie himself, I haven't watched television in about 5 to 7 years. Okay, I'm not a follower. I'm a trendsetter, not a follower. Okay, how much do you estimate you spend a month on luxury? Well, that's an interesting question there. I mean, I'm a wheeler dealer. My luxury, to give you some figures of money. My entire luxury goods collection at the moment that I'm sitting on, I have spent just over $100,000 Australian, which is about 110,000 US dollars. Now, I'm a 40-year-old man, okay, so $100,000, okay? However, in all honesty there, I'll often sell off some pieces and redivest it and put it into other fields. So just because I have $100,000 in luxury, I might sell a piece one month and I might buy a expensive piece another month. But yeah, I've been collecting for quite a few years now, and certainly I'd probably say I probably spend on luxury probably $5,000 to $10,000 a year. And that's a combination of profit on pieces that I sell, and also putting more money and buying more things. So I don't really have a set amount per month that I spend, but as I said, my collection is just over $100,000. That's what I paid for it. What is retail replacement to my collection? It's about $350,000. Okay, so my $100,000 spend translates into a retail replacement price of about $350,000. So yeah, I'm quite content with that. I think that's quite a reasonable amount there. Okay, the next question here is, what is your favorite item? Well, that's a really, really good question. My favorite item, I'd have to say, is my Patek Philippe Calatrava 5107 white gold wristwatch. That is my absolute favorite item. Are you devoted to such item? Yeah, I really, really love that watch. That watch there is probably the epitome of my collection. I just love it. It's white gold. It's really, if you could sum up one piece, who is ArchieLuxury, and that Patek Calatrava is who I am there. Next question. Are you devoted to such item? Yes, as I said, yes. Next question. What does it mean to you? Well, I'll tell you what it means to me. I remember a good friend of mine who runs a vintage watch shop. He said, "Paul, can I put it in the window for Christmas?" He said, "Make a few grand on it. Let's sell it off." And I remember, I said to him, if it doesn't sell by Christmas, I said, I'll pick it up, the day before Christmas, Christmas Eve. And that way there, it's either sold and I've got a big chunk of profit, or it hasn't sold and I've got the most beautiful Patek Philippe to wear. And I went in to collect that watch because it didn't sell, and I had tears in my eyes. I said to Ronnie, Ronnie, there are women I have slept with who I don't love as much as that Patek Philippe. That Patek Philippe is probably the single object that I've had in my life which I really, 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 really love. And as I said to him, there's been women I've slept with who haven't meant anything near as much to me as that Patek Philippe there. And that also answers the next question, what does it mean to you? Next question, do your family buy luxury? And the answer to that is not necessarily. My parents, my father's a huge property investor. He loves the stock market. He doesn't really buy luxury goods as such there. I buy a lot of things for my wife, but she was never really that into luxury before I met her. So no, it's all my own doing there. Next question, where do you think the love for luxury comes from? Well, in my case there, I've always been fascinated with beautiful things, and I've wanted the best things in the world, and that's why I've bought the pieces that I have. I want the absolute best things in the world, and that's why I've bought and I've loved luxury type items. Next question, how important is luxury to you? Well, in my case there, I'd have to say I don't think a life without luxury is worth living. You need a certain amount of luxury, and I admit at the moment I've probably got a bit too much luxury stuff, and I'm trying to. I'm actually in the process of selling a few pieces off, and what I'll probably do is I'll get out of some areas. And I will put money into some new areas. So don't think I'm just downsizing forever. This is just I'm having a bit of a change in the collection. For example, my Patek Philippe, I would never sell. My Jaeger LeCoultre Reverso, it's another piece I would never sell. And these are just some things that I just absolutely adore. Next question, has status or money got anything to do with luxury, with your love for luxury? Well, everything I have is high status and costs a fucking fortune. I want the best in the world. I don't want anyone to be able to have the things that I have. So naturally, they're going to be expensive. I want things that are gorgeous, the most beautiful things in the world. And often they have a price tag attached to them. Anything else you'd like to tell me? No, I've got nothing more really to add there, but I've got to say this. I'm ArchieLuxury, and I love luxury goods. And, a life without luxury, is it really worth living? I mean, what's the point of existing if you don't have a beautiful white gold wristwatch on your wrist? You don't have a $10,000 suitcase or a briefcase. What's the point in existing? What's the whole point in being on this planet if you can't have the absolute best things that exist? I mean, when I'm dead and gone, I'll certainly, I can certainly go to heaven and say, fuck, I've had a lot of lovely luxury goods. And there aren't many people on the planet who can say they've touched or owned as much luxury as ArchieLuxury, that's for sure. So, no, I've got nothing more to add to that, but luxury is me. I am ArchieLuxury. And I adore luxury goods. I honestly don't think a life without luxury is worth living. Thanks very much for the questions that you've asked me. I'm very pleased to have been involved in this exhibition for yourself. Please send me some photos, and please, any viewers who've enjoyed this clip here, any questions you've got for me, I'm happy to answer them for you. I'm ArchieLuxury, and I hope you've enjoyed this segment.